to talk about a little bit now in a larger description. What kind of things did you notice when you were talking about these? Who were the people? Who were they being? What did you respond to?
So
Go ahead.
what I responded to, and I look at the big image of the teacher, that they actually liked their subject. And you got this sense that they really enjoyed it because it was an area they did themselves, something they actually did themselves. And
So passionate, caring about.
It wasn't passionate like, this is amazing. It was, you got a sense. I remember getting a sense that this person, this meant something to them, without saying, can you believe the texture? They didn't do any of that.
Right.
But you picked up the appreciation they had for that particular subject.
Did anyone else have something like that?
Without drama.
Yeah.
We said the same thing.
What was the subject?
It was non-silver photography.
And what was yours?
I was in physics. I
Right.
took a number of courses with this professor, and then I went on to work for him doing my thesis, my research for my thesis.
And it sort of echoes what Sean said
Yeah,
about
I mean, it
how
was
you
just
felt.
obvious. He didn't have to say it. It was just obvious he had a passion for it. And, he would point out, in physics, there's lots of things we don't understand, and he never tried to cover it up. And he always said, these are really cool topics. These are things that we don't understand. And I think that's a very important thing, is not to try to BS students,
Right.
not to tell students the limitations of your subject.
I'm going to pass out an excerpt. It's actually called "What Motivates and What Discourages." This is from what the best college professors do, and they talk about the best teachers, the best college professors, tie these into these big questions that they passionately love it. And one guy in here said, "How could you not love organic chemistry? It's the very stuff of life." Organics, people are thinking, "Oh, that's going to put me to sleep." But for him, and he presented it to his students in that same vein. It was important to him, and he wanted them to see it. Anyone? What else? What else did we hear?
Well, we had that one which was passion for the subject material, but there was another one which was a goal that we were determined to achieve. That was the second one.
That the professor wanted you to achieve?
No. Diane's goal was that her father said that she was a girl and she couldn't be good in math, or she couldn't, whatever. And my goal was that I was living in Japan and I wasn't going to be like another one of those Americans that couldn't speak the language.
Okay, all right. So this is like your own intrinsic motivation as far as being challenged.
In both cases, yeah.
And both of these sort of came from inside you, right? It wasn't an extrinsic thing.
Right.
One of the things that they talk about, the research on motivation says that if you can appeal to people's intrinsic, it's much more effective than the extrinsic stuff. The game that kids have gotten used to playing as, how can I get the grade, right? That's all that stuff out there. But the research would say that's not what motivates people at the deepest level. Anything else? How about you guys?
Well, with me it was, back in 8th grade, which was many moons ago, and there was this teacher who came in as a substitute, and she just, we were all sitting in rows back then. We never did anything, never went anywhere, and what she did was innovative. She had us all writing an essay together. So it was collaboration, never happened before. Innovation, she had us, we would kind of like shout out, oh my goodness, answers or different descriptive words, because we were writing this essay, and we all got involved, and we got participated in our learning, and that was something new. And even though nowadays we're trying to do that with students more and more, there's still room for innovation, right. I think.
Right.
And it's something that they've never done before. I'll never forget that.
That was true for me too. I was telling William I had a teacher who, in a drawing class, where she made us draw to music, and it was really uncomfortable at first So, but I felt like she was taking us on this adventure, and I felt safe that we were going to be okay, but it was totally out of my comfort zone to do what she was asking us to do.
I apologize to Hope for being late. I apologize to all of you too. Ironically, I have a management class, and I'm actually having them learn management like managing the class. And so 3 of them cornered me after the class to say that I was taking too much, that I wasn't giving enough, and we had this argument. So they were staying for 15 minutes after the class, motivated enough to engage me, ironically enough. They talked about starting to give the learners more and more control, which is some of what we saw in that Make-A-Wish film. I want to do one more exercise with you. I want to pass this out. I don't know if you've seen this. I know Ted has. This is from what the best college and university teacher, what the best college teachers do. It's a very interesting book. It's actually a book of qualitative research where they really went around to people that have been recognized as being exceptional teachers and did research on what they do. And this, I've taken some passages. Here's 8 pages. I've highlighted these quotes that were, I thought, particularly meaningful to me and related to this whole idea of what motivates people. So what I'd like you to do is to go through and just read those particular ones. Hopefully what they will do is kind of motivate you to pique your curiosity to read before and after past this hour that we're spending together. But write down how you think this relates to what you have felt as far as when you were motivated, and what might be useful to you in thinking about the students that you have in your class. So why don't we do that for about 5 or 6 or 7 minutes?